China's National Observatory has issued another orange alert for drought as heat waves persist in multiple regions. The National Meteorological Center says moderate to heavy rains are forecast to ease droughts in regions including Henan, Shanxi, and Jiangxi. Meantime, Sichuan and Chongqing are under emergency response for floods, with rain forecast to persist for days. Heat waves have engulfed most parts of these regions since July, causing the soil to become dry, which increases the risk of natural disasters once rains hit. Authorities say Tibet Autonomous Region's capital has essentially cut off the community transmission of COVID-19. Officials say only cases they detected in Lhasa are in high-risk areas and designated quarantine sites or among people under close management. Officials say the COVID-19 prevention and control situation remains complicated, and there could still be risk of hidden transmission as the city has a number of medium or high-risk areas for COVID-19. The International Atomic Energy Agency chief will visit the Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant this week amid fears of a disaster at the site. The agency says the mission will assess damage, determine system functionality, and perform urgent safeguard activities. Russia has controlled the nuclear facility since March, though it's still operated by Ukrainian staff. The two sides have traded blame for endangering the plant. Sergio Ramos has more.
We know that a mission has been in the works now for at least a week. A team has been assembled that includes 13 members from different countries, including its chief, Rafael Mariano Grossi from Argentina, and 13 other members who are from different countries that are not composed of the United States or Great Britain, in order to show impartiality to the Russia-Ukraine conflict. We know that the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant has been a source of tension, not just here in Ukraine, but worldwide, as the risk of nuclear disaster has become very real. In Zaporizhzhia, the local authorities have begun distributing iodine tablets to residents living within 30 miles of the nuclear power plant. That's about 400,000 people.
NASA's postponed the debut launch of its next-generation rocket ship for at least 4 days. The countdown clock was halted about 40 minutes before the targeted launch time on Monday morning. The U.S. Space Agency cited a problem detected on one of the rocket's main engines after launch teams had begun filling the rocket's core fuel tanks with liquid oxygen and hydrogen propellants. The Space Launch System rocket was set to propel an around the moon and back on a 6-week test flight called Artemis 1. British rocket startup SkyRoarUp is gearing up for a launch of a suborbital vehicle from Iceland in the next few months. The move paves the way for its first rocket launch from Scotland in 2023. The company says that it's moving one step closer to entering commercial operations. Headquartered in Edinburgh, SkyRoarUp manufactures rockets to support small satellite manufacturing looking to access space. Germany secured a power link to a planned offshore wind hub in the Danish part of the Baltic Sea that'll help reduce energy dependence on Russia. Denmark's energy ministry says the hub will link several offshore wind parks with a total generating capacity of at least 3 gigawatts. The ministry believes that's enough to power 4.5 million German households. Last year, the two countries began operating a smaller cross-border cable that also connects several wind farms in the Baltic Sea. 24 companies from 9 countries are planning to enter the petroleum business in Sri Lanka. The Sri Lankan Minister of Power and Energy says they've appointed a committee to evaluate foreign firms in 6 weeks. Sri Lanka added 700 gas stations under the state-owned Ceylon Petroleum Corporation for selected companies to operate and use other facilities on a commercial basis. The minister says the corporation is holding 80% of the retail petroleum market, but is unable to keep on supplying fuel due to the dollar shortages. They've also invited companies in petroleum-producing countries to import, distribute, and sell petroleum products in Sri Lanka. And that's the news. I'm Shane Bigelow.